need anything, you'll have to tell Helen you need to say something. So I'm really pleased to welcome Tech West Advocates here to talk about the trade mission to China. And Rich just reminded me that I went on the very first trade mission some 13 years ago with him, and I could tell you a lot about it, but I think it's probably improved since we went. And we were trying to work out how to engage with China 13 years ago. It is an incredible opportunity to get one of the biggest markets in the world, obviously. And Rich is extremely well connected, and you'll get loads of really great meetings in the trade mission. You're also going to get quite well looked after, if I remember this correctly. Like if you work with the consulates and things, you get quite nice hotels. And am I right in thinking
we'll be bringing that all to life?
Exactly. Thank you. So it's nice to go with a trade mission rather than going individually, because you'll be well looked after and you can get to make all the connections that you need. That's my plug. And but what I'd like to do now is to get Chris and Richard to introduce themselves and just talk about the trade mission, but also maybe run around the room and so you can talk about where your thoughts are as well, plus online, don't let me forget. So yes, which way round first? Should we do intros around the room and you introduce yourselves? Can I start with Max Reyes? Is that all right? And then we'll go around then online. That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Jamie Anderson from Max Reyes. And Jeff Anderson, my business partner, we're not related. We got asked if we were partners.
Oh, that is cute.
Someone was they were like, so are you guys together? What is this? Oh, I see. And we enable small teams to support delivering training. So through the use of secure generative AI against any technical specification, we work mainly in defence and aerospace, but we're looking to branch out into manufacturing and that sort of thing. So that's kind of where we would see this could be really exciting to be part of.
Yeah, I'm Hatem. I work with we basically make vision camera modules for e-scooters and e-bikes. Basically detect hazards and taking detection stuff. I can't talk more about it.
Yeah, do you want to introduce yourself? Basically, making e-scooters and e-bikes safer by detecting hazards and all those things, and also doing infrastructure data inspection using state camera. So yeah, that's our first product that we did.
Cool.
I'm Aya. Nice to meet you. I'm from YC. It's a group that's allows to detect diseases, lung diseases using AI and imagery.
Okay, that's good. We have Alan online. If you would like to introduce yourself.
So I'm Alan Beasley. I'm the Commercial Director of Alps Eco Science, and I'm the CEO of Biofuel AI. So there's two companies. First, we produce hard technology which improves anaerobic digestion for the production of biomethane. And Biofuel AI produces optimization software for the production of biogas, bioethanol, any form of biofuels to accelerate this process. So the two, I'm a founder of both, and I represent software and hardware to make renewables more efficient.
Perfect. And then we have Sarah. Oh, I know. Yeah, she's showing a banner with the piano behind. It's really small here on my laptop, but you can see it. It's like a vertical.
So yeah, I'm Sarah Nichols. Hi everybody. I'm First Light Pianos. We are replacing cast iron in pianos with carbon fiber to make a lightweight piano. I do have specific reasons for wanting to go to China as regards large-scale manufacturing, and also about the latest in manufacturing composites. And yeah, that's why I'm very interested in this trade mission. Thanks for having me.
So I'm Chris Bourne. I'm a healthcare person. So I spent 25 years in the NHS and then 14 years with the Department for Business and Trade, helping companies to export to the various markets, including India and China, and South Asia, the Gulf, etc. And been working with Tech West England Advocates, which is part of Global Tech Advocates, which Richard will tell us more about. And we cover the West Midlands and South West, west of England obviously included, helping companies scale up and go global. And I'm now leading on a health tech trade mission to Boston, planned for April 2027, next year. So interested in those companies that may be interested in coming to Boston in April next year. That's my particular focus at the moment, but obviously we're helping companies across the tech board, all sorts of different types of tech to develop, scale up and go global. But I'll hand to Richard.
Yeah, so welcome. Thanks very much for coming along and your interest. A bit about me. So I'm Richard Lowe. I'm an independent learning and development consultant for the last 20 years. This July is my 20th year anniversary since I left corporate world and started my own independent consultancy. But I do a lot of community work. I've done a lot with the Institute of Directors here in the Bristol region. Also, I'm on the board for the Bristol and West of England China Bureau, which is the organisation which really looks after the sister city relationship between Bristol and Guangzhou, which this year is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. So this mission for us is going to be quite special because there will be some celebratory elements to the mission, which will bring a lot of government engagement in China. That's the plan. And 4 years ago, set up Tech West England Advocates as part of Global Tech Advocates. And the reason our role is slightly different to other tech communities in the region is because we're really, as Chris has sort of highlighted, there's 50 odd global tech advocate communities around the world, and we're really trying to connect our region with some of the international tech hubs, that are around the world. So we're one of 50 groups, basically. And our focus is more on scale-ups because if you're a startup, in very early stage, you might not be ready to export. So our focus has predominantly been with, those that have really got their prototypes ready and they're ready to commercialize and go international. And that's where we sort of fit in really within the ecosystem around our region. So as Chris has said, we cover 3 different big areas around West England. Why are we so big and why is it this region? The population is similar size to London, so we can compete. The second thing is that if you combine all those 3 regions from the West Midlands down to Cornwall across to Hampshire, which is what we're licensed to run, we predominantly are the UK's leading advanced manufacturing region within the whole of the UK. We can confidently say that. And it's one of our focus to really market our region as the place to be if you're doing anything in advanced manufacturing or high tech. Yes, we're doing stuff in health tech and life sciences, but that's where we really stand out, purely because we've got the Airbuses, the Rolls-Royces, the JLRs up in the space tech clusters down in Cornwall, etc. So yeah, we're here to promote our region, and we do that through showcasing our region to, as I say, this sort of global network that has grown around the first group, which was Tech London Advocates, who are the co-founders of London Tech Week. Because I'm going to also talk about London Tech Week this year as well, because we run the official West England tech event, fringe event up in London. So we take companies up to London and we showcase them a bit up in London to all the international delegations that come into London for London Tech Week. So we are basically co-founders of that festival, and we can give you a premium pass as well, incidentally. So we've got a special code we can give out at the end of today. So we organise networking events. This is Birmingham Tech Week with Lloyd's last year, which Curtis came along and spoke at actually. So where we can, we do run events with partners that are leaning in to support our community. This is Lloyd's. Lloyd's is a global tech advocates partner. And we've got other partners. This is Chris in Bath at Bath Tech Festival talking about health tech. We've done some visits around NCC. There's tours and networking events for people just to shift, because it's what we've also found is that there's people from different parts of our region that actually don't know what's in each region. So what we're also trying to do is cross-pollinate tech ecosystems in West England so that we all understand what we're all doing. But we also find that we attract other tech founders from across the UK tech advocate community, because we've got 6 groups. So they've been coming up to our region, taking a nose around as well at the same time. So yeah, as I say, we also run London Tech Week event. This was last year's London Tech Week event, which was innovations, aerospace and automotive. So we had, Warwick University, we had University of West of England, University of Bristol, we had Boeing involved and various other advanced manufacturers coming along to London Tech Week to talk about the emerging technologies really within advanced manufacturing. This year we've added C to the title, because what we realized is we're missing out a lot in terms of marine technology. So this year's event is called Innovations Land, Sea and Air, because we've obviously realized along our coastline we've got some amazing techs doing some fabulous stuff in renewables and subsea, which is a massive growing sector for the UK. And we're also more and more looking to support scale-ups by developing programs to support scale-ups, which we're developing in the background. I will add this, which is Moneywall, because there might be founders that are sat around the pay table that are looking for money. Moneywall is a hub that you can go on free of charge through our links and look up VCs and investors around the UK that have got videos uploaded, which are showcasing the sorts of techs they want to invest in. So rather than it just being a website, it sort of brings the human dynamic of these VC funds to life and investors. And as I say, we've got free access to that. So if anybody, I think we've
promoted it before, but if you give me the link again, I'll put it out.
Yeah. Right. So it's a great library which you can go and search online for different types of VCs looking at different types of sectors. And as I'm here to talk about today, we do these missions that take you over to the Greater Bay Area of China. And again, the reason why we're strategically looking at the Greater Bay Area of China is because it has so much synergies with our region in terms of life sciences, health and advanced manufacturing. And also because Hong Kong is a financial centre, so it makes it very accessible, China, because, you land in Hong Kong, you start up there and then you move into China. But more and more as China has absorbed Hong Kong, they've set up free trade zones. They're opening up basically a lot more to do more trade with the West and to attract more businesses to come there. I've seen it. I've been going there for 14 years and it's just transformed even in that time that I've been going since our very first time in 2013. So just a little bit about London Tech Week before I go into the mission. London Tech Week, has anybody been to London Tech Week? You haven't? Okay. So London Tech Week's a huge event. It's doubled in size. Last year it doubled in size. They've got two now centres at Olympia, not one. So it's doubled in size this year. About 45,000 attendees. 90 to 128 countries are represented. Many of which global tech advocates have delegations coming in from all over the world, having country pavilions where they showcase their startups. About 1,000 investors attend, come along to our events as well. So it's a really great event to be involved in. And of course, we realise that there's a disparity between investment that you can get and capital access in London that you can't really get in this region at the moment. We're trying to do things about that in the region, but it is the way to go to try and get closer to some of the London investors and VC funds. Global Tech Advocates has multiple different events going on during the week. So where we can, we will signpost those sorts of events that only we kind of know are going on. We've also got a private event that we're doing this year. This is our big flagship event. We're doing it with Eversheds Sutherland, who are international law firm doing amazing things in advanced manufacturing. We've got some of their clients that will be on some of our panels. We've got some of our amazing innovators that are going to be on the panels. And we're also doing this in partnership with Workspace. Workspace are a new client of mine, actually, who have co-working spaces all over London. They only focused on London. But they are doing our private tech mixer event on the Thursday evening, where we'll be talking about sustainable tech. So again, if you want to come along to London Tech, we get a premium pass for free from us. Come along to our event. We'll give you some guest tickets as future space. And we'll also give you some free tickets to come to this. If you're a founder or an investor, come along to this Tech Mixer event, which we're doing with some sustainable tech companies that we want to showcase in our global tech advocate community. So again, there's nothing to pay, it's all free. We're kind of being sponsored by Workspace and Eversheds on these events. So the mission, every year they get slightly more complicated because we add a city. So this year we're going to the Greater Bay Area of China again. But I want to set a context for why this year I think is going to be different, and what's happening geopolitically is that a lot of companies we're talking to are finding it very difficult internationally, especially with the tariffs in the US right now. And a lot of people are looking more east. And in January, we knew this back end of last year that Keir Starmer was going to be going over to China to reset the trade relationship. So that meeting has happened. And now China is visa-free access. So for this year, there is no visa to get. You get 90 days. And so with our mission this year, there's no sort of barriers like that or hoops to cross. You can come with us without a visa. Also last year, as a warm-up act, many of the mayors around the UK went out to China. We went to Chongqing, Chengdu, and to Shenzhen. And quite clearly, we're on a bit of a mission at the moment to try and redevelop them and cultivate the relationship with China. Why? It's a very stable partner, and as one of the founders said as we were going around the introductions, there's 3 reasons why you will go to China. You'll go because you're looking for investment. You'll go because you're looking to have a partner that you can grow and scale in country, or you'll be going because you're looking for supply chain manufacturing partners that can help you produce your products. So those are the 3 reasons that people come with us. Greater Bay Area is, I think, the centrifugal force of China's growth, really, because a lot is happening there. It's just in the Greater Bay Area, you have 80 million population, the size of the UK, just in that small area, which is highlighted in the map on the left. And the wider Greater Bay Area is sort of zoomed in on here. Greater Bay Area is in itself part of China's what they call Belt and Road Initiative, which is replacing the silk and spice routes with the modern tech routes, basically, and a lot of infrastructure investment around the world. So there's been a lot of investment in the region to join up all their infrastructure and to also embrace Hong Kong a little bit as the financial hub into the region. When we go on the mission, every company that we take, firstly, we'll have a conversation with anybody that's coming just to make sure it's the right time for them, because we don't want to waste your time. And we also, because we're inviting only a certain amount of companies with us, we've got to know that there's going to be appetite for what you're what you're selling basically to China, or what the investment opportunity is. So we'll have a conversation. This was one of the pages from last year, Iron Optica, there in iron beam technology, and we took them out. We put your details into a brochure which goes out to China well in advance of the mission, because we want everybody to know you're coming with us, because part of our objective on the mission is to help you with business matching prior to you landing. A lot of that business matching is done through events that we run during the mission. But we always begin our mission with some form of market insight. So in Guangzhou, we'll have Department of Business and Trade and maybe a professional services firm, KPMG, have done it with us before in the past, come along and give you a bit of a market insight into what you're going to experience in the region, who you're going to meet, why, you know, the minutiae and a bit more detail about what you need to know and how to conduct yourself during the mission, because there is cultural differences, as we know. We will do some tech tours during the mission. This was a robotics factory yesterday. Last year went to UBTech, a humanoid robot manufacturer. Enormous companies, and you come on these tours, but we end up sat around a round table with the exec suite, talking about what they're doing, what they're developing, the sort of companies they want to be partnering with and doing and working with. So we tend to have a tour followed by a round table with the exec team. We also went to Tencent yesterday, which, as you might not know, is the Facebook equivalent in China.
They've invested in companies in Bristol.
Yeah. It's very likely we'll go again there. We know the global PR guy very, very well. But we also have, as Tan indicated, the consulates and the Department of Business and Trade support this mission. They help us organise it in China and southern China and in Hong Kong. So we will probably have 3 supported events in Guangzhou, Shenzhen and Hong Kong. Why are these such good events to be at? Is because basically we get probably the most influential stakeholders in each of those cities to come out and meet you guys. You would not be able to knock on the door and get access to these people individually. So the mission's a great opportunity for us to come out in force, but also to get some of those key stakeholders to meet with you. So we've had 70, 80 people come along to these receptions. We give you an opportunity to pitch who you are. When it's a consulate reception, it's usually a minute, 60 seconds to say who you are, what you do, and what you're looking for. We help you with those pitches as well. So prior to the mission, we'll do a bit of support on helping you to get that 60-second pitch right. And we also ask all the founders to do a 5-minute presentation pitch, because we will have some showcase events during the mission where we'll be inviting investors, supply chain partners, other tech companies to come meet you that will be interested in what you're doing, right? So this was a showcase event we did in Shenzhen, the 2 tallest towers in the city. This was supported by Galaxy Towers, which is a big property company. So we were right, and we even got a tour at the top of the tower. So they took us up right in the top of the elevator and showed us the amazing landscape view of Shenzhen. Again, they're very keen to host us again this year, so we'll probably go back there this year. But in Shenzhen is the Silicon Valley of China. 40 years ago, it was a fishing village. You wouldn't recognize it now. 7 to 9 million people living there, all doing it's the high-tech engine of growth for China. It's an incredible city. You won't hear any noise on the streets because literally nearly every vehicle is electric, from motorbike to buses to taxis to cars. And why is that? Because BYD, our main manufacturing hub, is in Shenzhen. So they have supplied a lot of EVs to the Shenzhen market already. It is quite incredible. You will see drone deliveries of Starbucks coffee flying over your head. It is that advanced. And we will visit some tech parks. This is the Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. We visited this every single time. We've got an incredible relationship with the park. They have about 1,500 tech businesses on the park. And it's either one of these, this is more of a deep tech park. So you'll find, for certain types of technology, this is a good match. For other types of technology, it could be a different type of park like Cyberport that are doing more in digital technology, AI, supercomputing, that sort of. So depending on what type of technology will depend on where it's best to land in the Greater Bay Area. I haven't got any pictures to show you, but between Hong Kong and Shenzhen, they're developing a huge new park called it's an innovation park, because Shenzhen government and Hong Kong government are collaborating on a joint innovation park. That is going to be open when we visit. So we hope to get some insight into what that development's going to look like. That is being used as a sandbox for companies that want to experiment a bit more closely with the China market. We also have roundtable events. So we've had Google along to some of these events. This was one hosted at KPMG in Hong Kong. We've got a very, very good relationship with KPMG in China and Hong Kong. So we're very, very likely to do something with Anson, who is the character stood at the front of the room there, incredibly well connected professional who works with us. And we even managed to swing a nice breakfast at HSBC in Hong Kong. Former alumni, it does help. But HSBC have also been really good partners with us, and you know, they want to know who's coming, because they won't do this sort of thing unless we've got the right caliber of company with us. Why are they really valuable? Like, obviously Hong Kong, HSBC is Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, so it's the home of the bank. So if you're ever going to be doing any work around that region, they are, I would say, having worked there, an incredible connector in themselves around the GBA and the ASEAN region. So they do host a few events with us, and they do come along to our events as well. And that is a picture with a breakfast with their executive team, who invite some of their techs that they're working with to talk about how HSBC have helped them to expand across the region. Business matching more in general, as Tan said, I've been going out there a long time. Inevitably, there will be people that pop into our heads, or go up to. So a lot of coming along on the mission and not meeting some prospects that we could likely come back with some opportunities, but we don't guarantee or promise anything. But there is no better way, I believe, in going on a mission initially, making all the connections and then building on it from there. But as Tam will know, it's not just one trip. You've got to plan for more. So this is a great platform, but we can only connect you with all the strategic partners. It's then really your energy story. About 40% of our tech founders that have come with us have started up their entity. They've already got going. I've just saw on LinkedIn some posts from some of our tech founders that have been before events over there now, promoting their technology. One of them we've helped in the last year try and help with manufacturing production of their AI enabled e-learning tool for neurodiverse learners. So we do our best to support whoever comes with us, not just on the initial mission, but trying to help them thereafter as well. Now I've got a video, but that is not going to play with any volume because it's connected into Helen's laptop. So I'm going to send you the link. But this is the founders that came last year, who we videoed as we were going around, who would tell you exactly what their experience was like.
Will people
So
get to meet any previous people before? Would it be something we can?
Yeah, they can do. Yeah, they can do. If they want to talk to anybody that's been, very happy to connect you with some of them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Might be helpful.
I mean, I was hoping that after today as well, we might be able to run something with you with a larger audience, and then maybe I could invite one of them to come along, actually, if you fancy.
If we could do,
Yeah.
maybe we should have a look into the dates. It's Helen that's in charge of our calendar.
Yeah.
So she owns the decision on that. Yeah.
So there is this year is also quite special because UE are a key partner with us. So Joe Midgley, who is Deputy Vice Chancellor, and the Vice Chancellor are coming with us this year. So, why are they supporting this mission? Because Guangzhou is a very important hub for recruitment for them, and also they have an enormous alumni, actually. And UE have been sponsoring through the China Bureau for a government municipal government colleague to go through a masters each year. So we're going to have an event with them. Some of the previous alumni who've gone through the masters with UE over there, and there will be a civic reception, we're hoping, on the Monday evening when we arrive in Hong Kong with the municipal government. So we're hoping to do something quite special that evening, which does open as you know, once you've got the government engagement, it tends to open a lot more doors. So we'll be there on the first day. The second day, we're going to go to Shenzhen and stop off on the way at a manufacturing hub on the way. Then we're going to Shenzhen for like a day and a half. And then the last couple of days will be in Hong Kong, visiting those tech parks we were talking about. It is a mad week. It's exhausting. You need thousands of business cards, and you need to have plenty of sleep in advance of coming, as you know.
It is fun
But
as
it's
well.
fun. You meet loads of people, and I always say, actually, the people who come on the mission are equally as important as the people that you're meeting on the mission. We've had founders that are now working with each other. We've got an AI founder that's actually helping another founder with the production of their AI solution. So it's incredible how that you end up as a bit of a family really for a week, all trying to support yourself. So it's a great network. It's a great opportunity. And UE, we've got a pot with them again for a couple of tech founders to come without paying admission entry fee. How else to mix that up, future space, but with however you want to set that. It could be a couple of founders that want to come, or it could be 4 that want to have half it off. It's your discussion really with how you want to play that, but there is some opportunity to get
it from UE. Is there any rules from the UE side who administers these places? Like,
Joe.
do we is it for everybody across the region, or is it just for
future space?
Oh,
future
really?
space,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
future space.
Okay.
Yeah, future
Nice.
space. Yeah.
Wow. I was thinking, okay, who do I
No,
apply
this is obviously UE is supported this as a key partner because of future space as well. So we will be obviously talking about future space over there, I imagine, as well. Yeah, because one of the things we want to do next year is obviously bring more interest, inward investment coming into the region as well. Yeah.
I was just going to say just 2 things. One is UE has university campuses in Guangzhou region and delivers university courses out there.
Yeah.
I do a huge number of chores for Chinese students actually, because what they look to do is do their first degree in China and then maybe come over here for a year doing their masters in sort of key industry kind of areas. So it's a really big market for UE itself, which explains the sort of close connection. And Joe Midgley has been involved a long time with Bristol, say it all wrong now, I'll use all the old names, don't I? Bristol, West of England part.
Bristol, West of England, China Bureau. People just call it China Bureau.
Yeah. So Joey Midgley's been involved a lot over the years, hasn't she? And
she's on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, with us. So she's on the board with us.
So and we do welcome Chinese investors here and all sorts of things. So it's a really good relationship that we have with them. I was going to say, it's almost impossible to go on your own, is what I would say, because of the language barriers and the sort of sheer scale that you know, to go over there as a single business and to try and engage with China, it's not easy. So I just, whatever happens, go with a group go with the trade mission, don't go on your own. It's my only view on that, because you can just, when you go, you'll see it's just enormous. It's an impossible environment to engage with in any meaningful way if you don't have guides through that process.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. Can I ask, is there any questions from the room? And then I've got a question as well. So, yeah.
It's from a mercenary point of view as a small business, how much would it cost for us to be involved in this?
So the mission entry fee is 2,000
Yeah.
per person. Okay. And why is it so low? Right, because actually to put on a mission is a lot of money, as Chris knows, is because we have those generous partners on the other side who are hosting things and helping us. Then you get your flight and your hotel. Now, what I do is, because over the years I found that founders will go, I don't want to stay at that hotel, that's a 5-star whatever or a 4-star whatever. We will suggest a hotel, and I always go mid range for me.
But the comfort not book you one on discount.
We nominate like a hotel that we suggest. If you want to go along there, that's where we're going to be. But otherwise you could book it yourself, because we've had other founders that actually want to stay on, or they come out before and they come out after as well. They make the most of the trip going out there. So we've had people that will be stopping from Singapore, going out, coming back via whatever, and they make the most of the trip, the whole trip and the whole experience. So they want to plan their own travel. So we just say, we'll use these hotels if you want to, and we can suggest those. But we've had some fussy founders who say, I don't want to stay at the Grand Hyatt. And
They're not massively expensive in China hotels, are they? Because
No,
friends just
very
come back,
reasonable.
and they,
Very
compared to the UK hotels, you are.
Yeah. Hong Kong is more expensive.
Yes.
But
So yes.
Mainland Shenzhen and Guangzhou are very reasonable. Very reasonable. You can stay in a 5-star hotel for like 150 quid.
What does it cover? What does it cover?
2,000.
2,000. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the planning and everything that's invested in making it. It takes a year to plan these.
Does it include the transport as well?
A little bit of transport, but yeah, I mean, we try and get some funding for the transport actually. So, but it's not much to get around, is what I'm saying. Especially in Hong Kong, I generally get some NTR cards for you and put some credit on it. So I try and make it as easy as possible for you.
And when will the next one take?
Sorry?
When will it
Dates.
take?
23rd to the 27th. Yeah, of November. Yeah,
So Sarah is asking some questions online.
sure.
She says, do we have to be a Future Space member to apply to, and is it competitive? And then she asks, which you just answer, we pay on travel and accommodation plus 2,000.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So it's that sponsorship is through UE, so that is for Future Space founders. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sponsorship is, but the recruitment is
Recruiters for
UK-wide.
everybody. Yeah. Anybody can come on the mission and say, yeah. Incidentally, this is not just West England. This is UK tech advocates. So we've taken founders from Manchester, Birmingham, all over the place, London. So it's a mixed delegation. We tend to try and stick to around less than 15 founders because it's just too much to manage.
Yeah, but she's asking if it is competitive as
Yeah.
well.
In terms of, is it music technology?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, just you might be very interested. One of my close friends set up the Yehudi Menyon for music school in Qingdao in the last couple of years from Wells Cathedral School. Yeah, Wells Cathedral School.
No introduction.
So there's definitely an appetite for music education and the equipment, and of course they love classical music. So
But is the question, is it competitive to get on the mission? And the answer is
yes.
yes. So, I think we're very keen to make sure we've got the right people coming in terms of people who are ready to really deliver to potential customers or investors, partners, etc. So
Yeah.
It's competitive in that sense. And, clearly.
I mean, Sorry, what was the name of the lady?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, because I can't see you, Sarah, but yeah, definitely. You've done your
Just got a
homework
camera.
already. You know that you want to actually make some connections into the supply chain. So, people who already know what they're looking for are at an advantage.
It's not a sort of scoping
Thank
mission.
you.
It's meant to be a mission to really engage with those people that Richard mentioned at the beginning,
Yeah,
investors, the partners in supply
And the
chain.
other thing is actually we will say to founders, who do you want to meet? So in the brochure, we will, it's very specific. I am looking for this amount of investment. I am looking for supply chain partners who can help me manufacture X, Y, Z. Because that helps us, because when we do our outreach before the mission, we'll be asking our partners on the ground, do you know anybody who can help, Sarah?
Yeah. Alan has a question as well.
And sorry, just before we move on, whoever said they were friends with the Yudi Menuhin person, can you just put the LinkedIn profiles of who's speaking in the chat? I can't see the speakers online, so I'm a bit blind as to who's saying what.
Oh, right, yeah.
Was there no video?
Thank you.
If
No, because she is on her phone. I didn't.
if Helen can pass me your details, because it's a
Yeah.
personal contact of mine,
I will.
I'm very happy to connect you with him,
Okay, good.
because I think that'd be a useful contact for me.
Yeah.
So put it this way, he bought 20 Steinways. They aren't cheap.
Alan was going to ask her a question as well. Yeah.
Yes, so just two questions. One is, so will you try and keep within a vertical? So for example, you'll have one sustainability tech company, and or will you have multiple, for example? So we do hard technology and we do software.
It depends, because we've had, like last year, we had 2 e-learning companies come with us, but they were complementary. So there wasn't actually, it was beneficial for them to go together. But if obviously, we try and keep it as open, but if we see that there's a bit of, maybe some competition, we will discuss it with people just to make sure.
Yeah, it was more about
clearly
this is going to be highly competitive. It was more about, if it was, for sustainability companies, only one. I was just trying to understand the scope.
Oh, I see.
I've got
no, we're keeping this fairly broad. Advanced manufacturing would be what we're looking for really for this one, because we're going to Shenzhen. But again, Sarah's always indicated that even if it's quite difficult, because you have to have a conversation with the founder and the company, because as Sarah's just indicated, music tech, you wouldn't necessarily think advanced manufacturing, but actually it's very relevant, because if somebody's looking for an advanced manufacturer to help them with the provision of that technology. Okay. So I think it all comes out in the discussion of what you're looking for. And then what we will do, this is a very good point actually, is if, for example, we try and give every founder, as we're designing the program, getting closer to the actual mission, we have these what we call spotlights, where we will try and give you a particular spotlight. So if it's sustainable tech, we might build that into a round table event so that you get a bit more of a spotlight. And we also make sure that that spotlight event is where we think that there's a better opportunity for you as a business.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that, Richard.
Another question. I've got one or two. Translation. Are you delivering the translation? I mean, I presume that everyone wants some translation in terms of their stuff, perhaps when they're there.
Mission brochure, because
else.
I've got a partner called Angela Tang who is on the ground in Hong Kong now. The mission brochure we will translate that copy for you.
And then when they interact with people there, will there be translation, or will there be people only English speakers, or how does that work?
Yeah, because you only really need translation support in China, because Hong Kong is easy. You don't need translation support in Hong Kong. So yes, we can provide through DBT and Angela, who is with us because we are not on our own. Yes, we can translate. What I would say is it for your slide decks, that is something we would ask you to get translated yourselves.
I mean, obviously you've got chat, you could do the online translators, but it is.
If you wanted to check it, or for Angela to look over your deck if you've translated it, I'm sure she'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, and I know most of the apps now work really well, but it's just sometimes you in a particularly official environment, you want to know what language everything's happening in.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more question, I've forgotten it.
Cultural training, we'll do a little bit of that before you go, just so you present your business cards correctly.
Two-handed. Two-handed.
You don't put your chopstick up in your brain.
So I remember about the cultural stuff, which is it's very relationship focused, Chinese generally. I don't know if it's become less so and more, because in the UK we tend to be contract focused, it's kind of contract based. But in China, I think building that relationship is much more important. It was 13 years ago.
It still is.
It still is, I would say. So culturally, it's really important to build your long-term relationship with people is much better to do that in China, I reckon.
Yeah,
and these things.
And mainland is different to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is still different to China.
Yeah. When we bring in Hong Kong investors, they feel very British in their own way. And they speak in a British way, and their jokes and everything is very British. And you go into mainland China, it's completely different.
Yeah.
I think I'm allowed to say that. It feels very different. And
But obviously, we've seen companies if you do break into the China market, it can be a game changer. And I cite a client of mine called Digital TV Labs, who are a Set Squared company I did some work with. And they set up a hub in the Science Park, and they were doing digital TV engine testing for smart TVs and smartphones. I mean, they grew from 15 to 200 staff, I think. They ended up in Castlemeads Tower Block. But their sales, all they did was set up an entity in Hong Kong and literally selling across the border into Shenzhen, and working with all the TV manufacturers and all that, doing all their testing of their audio technology so that it was fit for purpose for different markets. But they ended up exiting and did very nicely. They sold out to Eurofins.